I definitely want to start by saying that my business model is intrinsically a symbiosis between energy healing arts and countering oppression. So I'm in my room and there's a lot of batik in here. So I definitely want to start by honoring the Malay and Indonesian people because this is from their cultural practices. I was actually living in Malaysia when I was 3 years old. My mom lives in Indonesia currently. I have a lot of Malay and Indonesian aunties. So is where I get my batiks and where I kind of have a foot in that cultural exchange. So it isn't just that I love batik, so I took it and now it's everywhere. And I actually have, in some ways, I have like a connection to people there. So I just wanted to start with that and then just transition us into a little bit of jitsu, just laying the foundational work. So I'm going to just show you a basic 5-finger hold. This is just to get you really quickly familiar with some of the really basic aspects of the different fingers, and then we'll go over it. So jitsu is an art where we're going to be doing holds. So this is the thumb, which is connected to worry. And interestingly, I do notice that people who have anxiety tend to hold their thumbs. It's one of those things that happens unconsciously, like EFT, like the tapping. So sometimes I'm in public and I see people tapping and I'm like, oh, EFT, and they're like, what is that? Because it's just something that they've already done naturally that they have found has been harmonizing for their energetics. So thumb is anxiety or worry, and the pointer finger is fear. And I love to look at the correlations between the emotional undercurrents and how we use the fingers. So this is actually anger. And the way that it works, similar to Chinese medicine and the 5 elements, is that the emotions are also actually connected to organs that are on the meridian lines that connect with the fingers. So you are simultaneously balancing multiple aspects of your system when you hold the fingers. The emotion is just one way to understand or remember ways that you can really assist yourself with it. So when we get to the ring finger, we're talking grief. So again, grief and the lungs are connected. You'll notice this from my Qigong videos. And so this is lung balancing as well as being really balancing for the emotion of grief. And the way that we're going to do the holds, and I'll go to the last finger, which is pretense. People ask me, what does pretense mean? I'm like, it's like when you're pretending. So you take the pinky, you would just hold it, and realistically, jitsu holds can have different ranges of time. It's similar with a lot of different fields. There's usually a range. Something that's recommended is 2 to 3 minutes. One thing that's also done is people just sit on their hands. I have been in stressful situations where I didn't necessarily feel like it was appropriate to tap. So I just sat on my hands because I knew that it would help balance my whole system. So I just wanted to give you that practice so that you could take it with you. And there is actually a jitsu double helix hold that I've never really found online, but was taught to me, and it's called opposite finger, opposite toe. Well, I will try to show that to you real quick. So you would just take your foot, or you take the opposite hand and the opposite foot. So this is how you know your pinky and your big toe would be at the same time, and then you would attempt to hold them together. So this is a practice that's often done in healing sessions. So somebody would do it for you. For a lot of people, it's not that easy to hold your finger and your toe at the same time, but it is an amazing jitsu sequence. And you would go through every finger. So it would be the smallest finger and the largest toe of the opposite hand and opposite foot. And then you'd go to the next finger and the next toe, all the way down until you were holding the thumb and the smallest toe. And then you would switch sides. Again, you could hold them for about 2 minutes. My jitsu story is that the woman who taught me this, a dear soul, was actually synchronistically visiting when I gave birth to my son. and she ended up coming in during the labor. I was laboring at home. He came very quickly. My labor was about 2 hours long. She came in and she did the jitsu hold on me, the opposite finger, opposite toe, double helix hold, and I'll never forget thinking, there's my breath. So this is a really profound practice. I have taught this in spaces, in event spaces, and had it then taught to other people, and then had strangers come up to me and say, like, how am I so transformed from somebody just holding parts of my body? So I'm sharing this practice with you freely because I really want us all to be more balanced and harmonious, and I can give you a lot more resources on this. So I hope you enjoy it.